I'm here with Filippo Biondi, who shocked the world. I think it's one of the most interesting findings in the last century.
I am struggling to express in words just how significant of a discovery this is.
8 hollow cylindrical structures that are underneath the middle pyramid on the Giza plateau.
With columns and coils around the columns. I'm like, what?
We have measured approximately over 1 kilometer of depth.
Over a kilometer
Yes,
of depth.
over.
Do you think that the pyramid was a nuclear fusion machine?
Please give me another question. I don't know. Maybe the water goes through these spirals, and the spirals are made by piezoelectric material.
Do you think we can turn the power grid back on?
But we do like that.
I'm here with Filippo Biondi, who shocked the world with a discovery earlier this year. You really did. I think it's one of the most interesting findings in the last century. And I don't know exactly what it points towards. I hope you can help, elucidate, make clear what it does today and what your methodology was. But you detected through this synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography, this really exciting new technique, what seems to be like it looks like an energy grid below the Khafre Pyramid on the Giza plateau. And there's a lot of controversy. You have Zahi Hawass, who's this cultural, minister of culture there, former minister of culture. And he says, it's fake news and there's nothing there. And then you have a lot of people supporting you saying that, there actually probably is something underground. Obviously, that whole area is full of subterranean chambers. So it's an honor to speak with you today. I'm very excited to get to the bottom of this here in beautiful Perugia, Italy.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you for saying me that we made a very great discovery in Giza. Just to begin, the work was done together with Corrado Malanga, who is the head of the research group, Armando May, and me. I am the technician that developed this synthetic aperture technique, and I shared to the group, to everyone, and so to perform the scanning at the Giza plateau.
I want to start with the most to-the-point question, and then we can back up and figure out how we got there. What, in your opinion, say a gun was to your head, you had to just guess. What do you think is underneath the Khafre Pyramid?
Okay, yes, thank you for this question. The answer is a bit difficult for me to give you a precise answer, because the truth, we will know the truth only if we go inside physically there to check what there is exactly. Now, what we can say that we have measurements, physical measurements that are acoustic measurements, and we performed these measurements, as you announced before, using a synthetic aperture radar. Then we will speak about the synthetic aperture radar and how we arrived to perform these measurements. We are considering tomographic analysis on, first of all, we began this analysis on the Great Pyramid of Cheops, and then we moved on the Khafre Pyramid, and then extending all the measurements on all the Giza plateau. So what we are watching huge structures that are connected to the base of the Khafre Pyramid, and these structures are extending underneath for, let's say, tens and tens of meters. Approximately, we have measured approximately over 1 kilometer of depth.
Over a kilometer of depth?
Over depth, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So over 1,000 meters. And what do the structures look like?
Yes, the structures are like that. The tomographies are public, so we have done a scientific interpretation of those tomographies, and they are like tubes that are connected to the base of the pyramid. We are counting at the moment 4 plus 4 tubes that are descending underneath, and they are connecting the top, so the base of the pyramid, to something that is located at the bottom. So at the bottom, we probably have huge chambers for approximately 80 meters wide, of width, and also of height, 80 meters.
Wow.
On the bottom.
On the bottom.
Yes.
And so what is that? That's like the kind of foundation structure on which the tubes are coming out.
Probably because we are observing that the tubes are connected to the respective top of this structure. They are connected and goes inside.
Wow.
Also. Because then I explain you why and all the physics that is behind all these measurements. And obviously, we don't know the exact objective of these things. What we know now is this: there are these structures, tubes, huge tubes that are descending underneath, and we have noticed that these tubes has a sort of spiral nature. So they spirals around their self, going down. And then we have noticed that each tube has a core in the center, which is that let's say connects the spirals, no? And this core descends down. So, just to be clear, the physics behind all this work that we have done. We have used an equipment or a device, let's say a payload that is called a radar. Radar is an acronym that it means radio detection and ranging. So we detect things remotely, and while we detect things, we can also measure a distance. This is radar. In the past, radar was installed on board ships, maybe to know for safety navigation or on board aeroplanes. But today, they are also on board the satellites. And of course, technology advanced, and radar became synthetic aperture radar. Why synthetic aperture radar? Because we need to perform pictures, electromagnetic pictures of the Earth. It recasts in the so-called remote sensing of the Earth, so Earth observation. And the more the aperture and the detailed are the image of the radar. So synthetic aperture radar, it means that we synthesize a very long aperture in order to have very high resolution on the Earth. We are talking about submetric resolution. Maybe a pixel can be of this dimension of this square that is on the floor. So it is very important.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of a meter, right? Or, yeah. It's pretty strong resolution. And there are companies like ICEYE and others that do all sorts of work when it comes to synthetic aperture radar. They have, Umbra, Capella Space, which I think are responsible for some of these scans, are very credible companies that do work in defense and commercial applications as well.
Yes.
Okay.
They are there are the companies that you said. They are American, Capella Space, and also ICEYE is an European company. We have Cosmos Skymed and Cosmos Skymed second generation, which is an Italian company affiliated to the Italian Space Agency. So we have a lot of equipments, a lot of radars, And we used data produced by these satellites to perform the scanning on Giza.
And so radar, backing up, is just bouncing radio waves off of physical objects.
Yeah.
Synthetic aperture radar is a way to do that with finer resolution, essentially. And so how does that work exactly?
Yes. I have to tell you this. That is very important because initially when we announced this discovery, there was a lot of mess in terms of scientific information. So misunderstanding, a lot of misunderstanding. Radar, synthetic aperture radar cannot penetrate the Earth. So electromagnetic waves has only superficial interaction. According to the Maxwell theory, according to the past physics, classical physics, the interaction of electromagnetic wave is superficial. Maybe you can have a bit of penetration, but very, very few centimeters of penetration. In this case, we have developed a new technique which we are able to detect the superficial vibrations of the Earth. Why? Because vibrations penetrates the Earth. It means that photon and phonons, which is the quantum of light, of electromagnetic waves, and the quantum of vibrations, so photon and phonons, are separated by something called boundary. It means that light propagates only in the free space and not in the matter. Phonon propagates only in the matter and not in a free space. So, in order to combine these two, we tried and we successfully combined the two informations given by the photon and by the photon. Where we have both of them? Try to guess where we have both of them. In the intersection.
At the boundary.
And at the boundary, we have the information of the photons and the phonons. We have the interaction of them. And there we were able to retrieve the so-called sufficient statistic in order to perform tomographic inversion and so to go deeply inside the Earth. So this is something that we have developed 2 years ago, and it is new. And at the beginning, people were not, was something new. So it had to pass some time in order to realize that this was possible.
Is something penetrating the Earth? So in the case of radar, like you said, it's reflecting off the Earth's surface, pretty much superficial. What else is penetrating the Earth to even gather the data on the structures?
I tell you this, the satellites flies in the space on a velocity of approximately 7 kilometers per second. It means that in 1 second, the satellite has flow 7 kilometers. Then, this high speed, this high velocity permits the radar to synthesize a very generous Doppler bandwidth. Doppler, it means that the electromagnetic waves that we transmit and receive are frequency modulated by the movement of the Earth. Okay? If the Earth vibrates because of the presence of seismic waves, the presence of vibration due by the cities, the presence of vibration due by any natural phenomena occurring on the Earth while we are observing it by the radar, it means that the Earth is moving. And if this movement performs a frequency modulation on the returned signal. So this frequency modulation is proportional to the vibration. So we can grab the vibration of the Earth. And this vibration that is located on the boundary has all the information of the vibration present below the Earth. According to this, it was possible to perform an algorithm that realizes tomography. Tomography, it means I look inside. Tomos in Latin, it means slice. Okay? So we can scan the Earth according to slices that are located below the Earth. The slice, imagine to uncharge or to extract a vibrational slice from below the Earth, and here you can see everything concerning the energy vibration on a certain depth.
So phonon, which is vibration, converts to photon, which is basically a light packet,
Yes.
which is the unit of an electromagnetic
Yes.
wave.
Yes.
The frequency modulation then goes to the satellite and allows you to read vibrational differences in the Earth, which is obviously, kind of correlated with material differences under the Earth, and you can figure out the structure underneath the Earth. Is that correct, roughly?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's very interesting. And I think to maybe the skeptic out there, I imagine this is used in other cases, right? Like this isn't just used for scanning underneath the pyramids. Has this been used in commercial industry, in defense, anything else?
As you know, on American Alchemy, we cover a lot of technology that goes beyond human limits. This is about technology that helps the body catch up and feel good. I'm talking about the iRestore LED face mask, a red light therapy system that uses clinical grade wavelengths to boost skin cell energy production. The same exact principle used in the top recovery clinics and bio-optimization labs in the world. I've been using it most nights, 10 minutes while I'm reading, prepping for a show, or decompressing. It's completely hands-free, comfortable, and engineered to deliver consistent light intensity across the face. Not that uneven scatter most cheaper masks use. It feels like your face is taking a warm bath. What it's doing is called photobiomodulation, stimulating mitochondria to repair tissue, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. You actually feel the calm and rejuvenation after a session. I've tested a few of these. This one really stands out for the build quality. It feels like it was built in a high-precision lab, and it's not just a cheap beauty gadget. So if you're into real evidence-based recovery tech, this belongs in your setup. Head to iRestore.com and use code Jesse25 for an exclusive discount. Again, iRestore.com, code Jesse25. Red light therapy has really been a game changer for me, so I hope you love it.
It can be used for everything, I suppose, for commercial purpose, no? Because when we are able to retrieve the superficial vibration of the Earth in order to perform tomography, we can use this technique for mining, maybe for crude oil extraction, maybe for other kind of application that can be useful to humans.
Is it currently used for anything? Like I've heard that it might be used to map magma chambers and volcanoes.
Absolutely, yes. It can be used for map the magma chambers of the volcanoes. That, in my personal opinion, is very important to do this type of facilities, because I give you an example. In Italy, we have a very dangerous volcano, which is the Vesuvius, that is located in Naples. And from 1948, this volcano is not smoking anymore. So it is accumulating energy.
Oh, wow.
And we know that, I'm not saying that tomorrow will erupt. I'm not saying this, but it has to be monitored. I tell you, Italy is very, here in Italy, we are focused on that volcano. It means that it is very under attention. There are a lot of in situ seismograph. Radars are using the so-called interferometry, which measures the displacement of the Earth, are always, also I do it on my work, it is always under attention. This other method can help scientists to study volcanoes. Absolutely, yes.
Wow. I mean, I think it's very important for people to hear that this method is used in business contexts when money is on the line, or in the case of Mount Vesuvius, so that another Pompeii doesn't happen, lives are on the line.
Yes.
So this is a tried and true method, Doppler tomography, because it's really funny, man. Like, even in preparing for this interview, you can chat GPT, your finding under the Khafre Pyramid. The response you get back is synthetic aperture radar can't penetrate below, a quarter of a centimeter below the Earth.
Yeah.
They don't even mention the Doppler tomography, which is used in all these other contexts. So it's just bizarre. like
I
it's,
don't know why.
I don't know why either, man. It's yeah, okay. So that's really helpful that it's used constantly. And I think it's important for people to understand your background as well. You do some work with the Italian military that's classified. You can't even speak about it, right? So it's clearly useful to them because they don't want anybody talking about it. Should I not even be asking about that? Okay, I'm just saying the facts that you do it. Are you not supposed to say it? Okay, sorry. I mean, in the US, like, you can say, like, I do work, I just can't talk about it. But you don't even want to say that you do the work. Okay. Forget it. What was your motivation in the first place to even look below the pyramids? How did you have a hypothesis? Like, I mean, most people wouldn't even think that there might be something there.
Yes, thank you for this question. The first thing I did is to move on Vesuvius because I had in my consciousness to make something for humanity. So the first thing is okay, let's see what is happening under the Vesuvius. And I wrote a paper, was very, very nice paper, and together also with the National Research Council of Italy, because we have synchronized the data coming from in situ seismograph with the radar data and match them together. I suggest to read that paper. Is very nice. It is open source also. Everything is open source. And here I can say it's in my article, or not it's in my book, it's in my article. And then after writing this, something no money, only for humanity, and continuing this paradigm only for humanity, according to my friend in 2019, Corrado Malanga, we decided to do something concerning if it was possible to scan inside the Khnum Khufu or Cheops pyramid. And then we made the motivation. The motivation was because Giza is, I think, the best archaeological site in the world. There are a lot of things that, in my personal opinion, has to be discovered, and we are doing it. So we moved there because we were motivated, very motivated to move in Giza, because Giza is very important for humanity.
And you go for
the past, who we are, who are we? Because in my personal opinion, people, when they born, we don't know who we are. We are here and we don't know anything about our past, our history, and who we are.
Truly. And it really, Egypt is the center of the debate. If humans have collective amnesia and we don't remember who we are, Egypt is the center of the epicenter of that kind of discussion, because you have people on the one hand like Robert Bauval and Graham Hancock and Robert Schoch, who since the 90s have been saying very interesting things about, possibly limestone damage on the Sphinx, and, a lot of these structures possibly dating back to, pre what we think of as kind of the Egyptian kingdoms.
Yeah.
Talking about their mapping to, precessions and to Orion's belt at the time of 10,500, when they think maybe the Sphinx was built. And you have subterranean chambers in that area as well. You have Zahi Hawass, the Minister of Culture, famously debating them and trying to suppress a lot of this information, but admitting that there are some chambers down there. He even went down in certain cases, and then it's often, nothing to see here, don't dig further, So it is this. And then if you think about Western civilization, the Greeks got a lot from the Egyptians, and Egypt, pre-Egypt, you have Sumeria, you have a couple of other cultures we know less about, but Egypt was far more advanced than a lot of, what was preceding it. And so it's this really interesting, seminal place to look, I think.
I agree with you. In my personal opinion, they were far advanced with respect to others. We can see it how they used to cut the stones very precisely, like that. I don't know if you went I went for the first time in the Serapeu of Saqqara. That's something very amazing. You see these huge, how you say, not sarcophagus. They are let's call them sarcophagus, but they are not sarcophagus. Very precisely, very heavy. And so the first thing I can say, how they built them, how they transported them down in that site. We don't know anything about those things.
Yeah. It's taking, quartz from 500 miles away. We don't know how that works. We don't know how you get.
And also today, it's a problem to transport those heavy masses.
Right.
All that distance from a part to another one.
Even today, it would be
Even
hard.
Today.
And we're talking about 10, 20, 30 ton stones. That it's just and they do in some cases look like they were lathed or something. They were like even modern techniques of civil engineering wouldn't be able to recreate some of these things. So it's just really amazing. Like, do you have, for example, like the pyramids? Do you have a good theory on how they were built?
Very, very interesting question. Personally, my own theory, I don't have my own theory on to saying how they were built, those huge structures. Just to tell you, 2 weeks ago, I went for the first time in Egypt. So I appreciate in person the pyramids. I went inside the pyramids and I was very amazing for the first time. How they built those huge structures, I don't know. Really, I don't know. And, before the study that we did, so I'm saying this for me. Maybe people used to ask in themselves how they could realize those huge structures, no? The technology that they used to use for these pyramids. And if we consider also the structure that is underneath, what can we say about this?
What do you think? What can we say?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know.
Because Armando Mai, who you've collaborated with, has some interesting ideas as to maybe the function of these pyramids.
Yes, Armando, we speak about this every day with Armando, with Corrado, and we speak also with Christopher Dunn, that has a lot of theories, about energy plants or other kinds of purposes about the pyramids. In my personal opinion, now is time to stay all together and work on a common purpose. We have to go and see in person what there is underneath.
I think Christopher Dunn's ideas are fascinating, that it's some sort of solid state electron generator, and it can it has waveguides for microwave transmission, and maybe it was hydrogen generator or something. It's really interesting, and I don't know what to make of it, but it seems very rigorous and smart in terms of like the way he thinks about it. Do you think that there's something possibly there, because you have his work preceding the scans that you found, where he's hypothesizing all of this stuff, and then you essentially find what looks like an energy grid. It looks like coils wrapping around these sort of possibly charged rods or something. That's what it looks like.
Yes, I thanks a lot Christopher Dunn, because he endorsed our research. So I am very thankful to him, because I knew him in person. He's really wonderful person, and so I thank him. Yes, I agree with him, because I think he was the first person that gave this theory about energy power plant or something related to information. Let's say information.
You have a very fascinating hypothesis as to what the pyramid, or theory, as to what the pyramid actually was.
Well, my first book pretty much describes what I thought it was in 1998, which was a power plant. The book is entitled The Giza Power Plant. I describe it as an electron harvester.
And I agree with him. What can I say personally? Personally, I can say that this structure, the tubes that are going below the earth, the pyramid, are something related to information. Information.
From the stars?
I can't say anything about this.
Why do you think information?
Information, because also generating energy is a kind of information. Information is everything. I tell you. And in all this technical compound, there is, in my personal opinion, an actor that it is always present. You know what it is?
What?
Water. Water. Water is the principal actor that is related to all these structures.
What role? Why do you say that? What role does water play in the pyramid?
Yes. Water, when flows, maybe let's say on the pipes like that, it generates a certain information in terms of vibration that is very precise, because water is an important stuff of life that is present on the earth a lot. No, the earth is full of water. We are water, and so the pyramids and the water are connected together.
And when you say generates information,
I tell you.
Yeah.
You know that we are made of water.
80% or something.
I think more.
Maybe more.
It depends on how you are watching your percentage. I tell you. In terms of mass of the molecules, I agree with you, 80%. But in terms of moles, it means number of molecules. We are 98 or 99%.
Wow.
It means that 1% of number of molecules have the weight of the 20% that you said before. Okay? In terms of number of molecules that is composed our body, we are 99% of water.
H2O.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So that's very important.
That's extremely interesting. Yeah. Wow.
If you are seeing it in terms of mass, okay, that 1% of molecules has the mass of the 20% of all the entire water composing my body. So 80%, 20% in mass, 99% and 1% in terms of
number of molecules. And that's because of this power law where there's, how does that work exactly? So you have the mass has less number of molecules than the water. The water has more molecules.
The 1% of number of molecules, it means that they have a great weight.
Yeah.
Okay. So the proteins, I don't know, other things that are composing our body.
Yeah.
That is 1% in terms of moles.
Yeah.
Number of molecules.
It's interesting because there are all these studies. There's a guy named Gerald Pollack who talks about
I suggest to read the studies of Giuliano Preparato and Emilio Del Giudice. were two former professors at University of Milan.
What do they?
Physics.
What do they talk about?
Yes, they were the scientists that worked together to Fleischmann and Pons.
Ah, yeah. So Fleischmann and Pons, for the audience who might not be aware, were proponents of cold fusion.
Yeah.
So like low energy nuclear reactions. And they claimed all these over unity results. And then I think maybe they were sabotaged and, maybe some scientific suppression occurred. Who knows? But so they had a connection with Fleischmann and Pons.
Absolutely, yes.
They studied under them.
Because they unfortunately disappeared both because they were wonderful. Emilio Del Giudice and Giuliano Preparata.
Does this have to do with deuterium at all? Heavy water? On this show, we talk about advanced exotic technology, but the most advanced system you'll ever deal with is your own body, your own biology. And the older you get, the slower your body responds. It's not broken, it's just a bit laggy. That's where stem cells come in. They're basically your built-in repair crew. And as we age, the signals your stem cells send get weaker. Qualia Stem Cell is designed to support those natural repair processes. They use well-researched ingredients like sea buckthorn and royal jelly that help your body do what it's already trying to do. What I like is how dead simple it is. You take it 4 days a month. That's it. No 40-pill stack, no daily commitment, just 4 focused days to support recovery and healthy aging. So if you've ever felt like your body just doesn't bounce back like it used to, whether it's after a tough workout, getting sick, or just the wear and tear of life, this product is for you. Qualia Stem Cell was designed to support your body's natural repair systems, helping you heal, recover, and keep going strong. And right now, you can try it for up to 50% off at qualialife.com/Jesse. Again, that is 50% off at qualialife.com/Jesse. And here's a bonus. Use the code Jesse, Jesse, for an additional 15% off that order. That's at qualialife.com/Jesse. Your body is built to repair itself. Qualia just helps it do that better. A big thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this video. Some of the low energy nuclear people, even now doing experiments, say deuterium atoms are really important.
Absolutely, yes.
So that's heavy water. And so I wonder if there's some connection between what you're saying. Because when I asked you, how should we look into water, you mentioned these 2 Italian scientists. And then you mentioned the cold fusion thing.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
absolutely. It is very important. Cold fusion is, I'm not interested in cold fusion, but I'm very passionate. I have a passion in cold fusion. When 2 hydrogen atoms are connecting together, and they transform in a helium atom, releasing energy, because a helium atom has a weight less than 2 hydrogen atoms. So by different mass, they generate energy in terms of electromagnetic waves. This kind of, let's say, union can be done or forcing the atoms together or persuading them to be naturally connected. That's called fusion, is the second. You have to find a method to persuade, to convince the 2 atoms to go together naturally, without forcing them. That's called fusion. Hot fusion is the first one. But I tell you that hot fusion, the various tokamak that they are designing, or other kind of hot fusion given by pumping energy, designing very powerful lasers.
Magnetic confinement, yeah.
I can tell you personally, that is the energy of the future. It means that we'll never find the present.
What do you mean? Well, if
they don't work. It doesn't work. It's the energy of the
Hot
fusion.
fusion. No, I
Of the
agree.
future.
I don't know. It'll always be of the future. I fully agree because it's extremely hard to make it work. And basically for the audience, controlled fusion is the holy grail. We only have fusion in the form of hydrogen bombs right now, which is obviously a very dystopian thing.
Yeah.
And with tokamak receptors, it feels like kind of like a fool's errand, or like almost self-defeating because of the amount of energy input to make the thing in the first place. And it is very high energy. And so there's all these lore rumors of cold fusion. I'd say Pons and Fleischmann are probably the most credible of the rumors.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, and that would be this groundbreaking thing, because if you had an over unity reaction with low energy input, it's like paradigm
energy input,
shifting
yes.
for humanity. It's free energy, yeah.
And what do they find? Fleischmann and Pons, and also Giuliano Preparata and Emilio De Giudice after, was how can we persuade two hydrogen atoms to go together? Because there are the atomic forces that the most you confine those atoms, and they will never go together.
Yeah, you have Coulomb's force, which is repulsion, electron repulsion. So how do you
persuade them? Okay.
How do you do that?
Like where are two people that they do not talk each other, no? No, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So maybe a third person comes here and persuade you and me to talk together. And that third person was the atom of palladium. Palladium is a special, let's say, material that it's able to persuade two atoms of hydrogen to go together and become magically an atom of helium, and the fusion reaction is done by palladium. Okay? And also electricity. So, deuterium, palladium, electricity, and electricity, and this recipe allows the cold fusion. There was problems about the quantity, the amount of energy, no? That was very little. But if the research from the 80s to now were performed, maybe today we can have better results with respect to the 80s, when the first experiment of Fleischmann and Pons was announced.
Do you think that the pyramid was a nuclear fusion machine?
Please give me another question. I don't know.
Well, is there? The more specific question would be, when you were talking about water transferring information.
Yes.
Where does that leave us as far as what it could be? Like,
my personal opinion could be, but I say it.
Was there any evidence that palladium was involved in? We don't know.
As I tell you, you have to go down and see and explore what is in really that Giza. What's the Giza?
Yeah.
Can't be tombs.
Well, I think that it's funny. Like, it used to be conventional dogma that they were all tombs. Now you had Graham Hancock for the last 30 years being like, it's not a tomb. Now people are like, okay, maybe it's not a tomb. And so it's slowly following, Do you think that mapping to Orion's belt around 10,500 BC, there's something somehow important with that? Because if you basically, they do map to Orion's belt. Orion's belt plays a very important role in a lot of different traditions. Even like Ptolemy, said that the soul's path was through Orion's belt. I asked Graham Hancock on my show, I said, what do you think the pyramids were for if they weren't tombs? And he gave me a very trippy answer. He said something about, ascending through them. Like once maybe a pharaoh has died, they're buried there, and then it's like an ascension portal or something. When it comes to the pyramids themselves lining up with Orion's belt has always, across many cultures, been the place of ascension of souls.
Absolutely, it is here in North America, and in Central America and in South America. The path of souls, that idea that on death we our soul makes a kind of leap up to the heavens and then makes a journey along the Milky Way, and that journey is full of challenges and difficulties, on which we will be assessed for the use we made of the incredible gift of life. That idea is found all over the world.
Have you considered any of these things, or?
In my personal opinion, no.
Yeah.
No. There is something, the Giza has to be something that is related to give a better life of the people at the time living there. So maybe an energy power plant, something related to chemical, something related to, I don't know, mining, something related, or a combination of everything. So there is something that is related to make better live people there.
And speaking of water, aren't there rumors of a water table also?
Yes.
Below the Khafre Pyramid?
Yes, below the Khafre Pyramid there is water. Absolutely, yes. Because we found water in the Osiris shaft at minus 33, 37 meters, approximately. I don't remember precisely. There is water. But I have to, in my personal opinion, I have to say this: water cannot be everywhere. Maybe we find water in the Osiris shaft, we move a bit on the left or on the right or on the north or on the south, and there is not water. So it's not mathematical that we find water everywhere in Giza. This is the first thing. Then I will explain you what the Khafre research project is moving on, because it's related to the water.
Yeah.
Because as I told you, water is the principal actor of Giza.
Yeah. Well, before we get to that, I want to give you one more, like, the skeptics say you can't go that deep.
Yeah.
With Doppler tomography, we can definitely go 1,000 meters deep, a kilometer deep. It's possible, or?
Absolutely, yes.
And we have in other cases?
Because vibrations are traveling inside the limestone and I don't remember, 2.5 kilometers per second, something like that.
Okay, wow.
Sorry if I make a mistake, because I don't remember precisely, but the order is that.
Yeah. And then the image that went viral all over the internet of the coils and this, like, you said 4x4, 16 pillars, energy grid. The other critique.
4 plus 4, not times.
So 8.
Plus 4.
Oh, so eight pillars.
Yeah.
No, all good. So 8 pillars, in this shape of an energy grid.
Yes.
You have Sabine Hassenfelder is this physicist. She makes this video.
She's very nice.
She was nice, and she was, I think, pretty open-minded in her video. But at the end, she said, I think that the AI reconstruction of the image is taking liberties. Because basically, for the audience, you have tomography scans, so that's the raw data. And then you have what went viral all over the internet, which is these image reconstructions. That's the pillars with the perfect coils that everybody's seeing. So it's beyond my expertise. Like, do you think that that's a faithful rendition of what you actually measured, the pillars with the coils?
The shape is that. The shape of the Doppler tomography was recasting a spiral form. So we can't say that are, I don't know, copper coils, or they are, what we can't understand is this. We can't understand that maybe can be, I don't know, stairs that are going down, or I don't know, they are cables that are going down. What we understand is it is something that has a spiral nature.
Yeah. But
that's all.
Are you like 100% sure it's man-made? Not it couldn't naturally.
No, 100%. Yes, it's man-made.
Yeah.
This I can.
Because you don't find things in nature that coil in perfect,
it's man-made.
Okay.
It's man-made.
Okay. So that's easy to say definitively.
Yes,
you never see anything in any of your other subsurface scans that look anything like that.
No, absolutely not.
Okay. And then it's a question of what's the material, and but you feel like you have some decent resolution You think that it is these circular pillars,
Yes.
something wrapping around it, for
Maybe
sure.
it is hard to say which kind of material
Yep.
it is. Or for now, maybe if we have hundreds of tomographies with a ground truth, we can also understand the acoustic fingerprint, and maybe we can move into material recognition. And that's what we are working now, because we like to move this technique for mining. Today mining is very important. Also United States or other countries, we need rare earth materials. We need gold. Today gold is very important. No, we see the gold price going up every day. Why? Because in this moment technology is exploding. We need rare earth materials for our devices, because there is AI, because there is I don't know, NVIDIA that has to build a lot of, sorry by saying NVIDIA or other companies, the graphic cards that are very powerful. So we need rare earth materials. So now we are moving further. Maybe in some years we will be able to know which kind of material we are dealing. But now not. I'm not ready. So what we can say is, okay, that in that part of the tomogram we have high vibrational energy, and there we have lower vibrational energy. Depicting the pixels, we can represent that the underneath has a spiral nature, but we can't understand the type of material.
And the AI reconstruction for the image, are you using generic software or your own?
No, my own software, not AI.
Okay. It's your own software.
Yes.
And that your own software, you use that in other contexts when you use
absolutely, yes,
SAR Doppler tomography?
In the scientific community, it's called pseudo inversion of measurements.
Okay.
In order to retrieve tomographic analysis. It's called pseudo inversion.
But you do this a lot over the course of a year.
Yeah.
And you feel confident because you've, in the other cases, based on the software read, in certain cases you probably can go down and verify what you're seeing. And in those cases, they usually check out, they confirm what you see in the software.
You are speaking about validation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you been validated in other cases?
We did a lot of validation experiments. A lot of it, because as a scientist, I have to validate. No, how can I present my results like that? No, it is not possible. So, you know that validating things that are underneath is very difficult.
Yeah, to go down is difficult.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
But it's not impossible.
Yeah. Have you done it ever?
So, the strategy that we have made is this. We know that there is a structure where we know everything about it, and in a certain depth. Okay, let's move there, and we try to perform tomographic inversion there, so to see if our results are matching with reality.
Have you done those experiments?
Yes.
Okay. Have you done a lot of them?
Ecco, that's another point. It's another point of view. 3 or 4 experiments.
Okay.
I tell you, it's very difficult to do validation. Sure. So we did measurements of the Gran Sasso d'Italia Physics Laboratory.
Okay.
Located inside the mountain. It's 200 kilometers far from here. And we depicted the laboratory.
Okay.
That's our measurements and the reality.
How accurate?
No, 100%. They match.
100%.
Yes.
Did you do it double blind? So you didn't.
Can you explain me double blind, please?
Yeah. So the way I would do the experiment in order to prove that SAR Doppler tomography is really effective is I would, if I were you, find somebody else who's a good practitioner of SAR Doppler tomography, and who can get the scans somehow. I guess if you're using a satellite, you're using a satellite. So I don't know, but like somebody who isn't aware like you that you're doing a test and you say, okay, get the tomography scans.
And do it you.
And then you create an image based on the tomography scans with your software.
Yes.
And then see if that matches, because you already probably know what the laboratory looks like.
I didn't do that. I will do it.
Yes.
It is important. Yes. We have to do it. Yes.
But
we didn't do it.
But it's still, you've done your own scans and it lined up with what you saw. Okay, so that's pretty, Because, I mean, to me, artificial intelligence is just pattern matching. So the more data you have, the more you're like, okay, I've mapped this, and then I've also validated and seen it personally and myself, physically measured it, and it lines up. If you have, a lot of instances of that, I think we can kind of say that there's definitely something here. So
I just want to tell you this. The rule of artificial intelligence in our technique. Okay? There is no rule, because we didn't use artificial intelligence. Okay?
It's funny, people keep saying it. Yeah.
Let's forget artificial intelligence. I tell you how it works.
Okay.
It works like that. We have measurements. Okay?
Yeah.
We have a model, and I tell you what's a model. And we can, if we have the measurements and we have the model, we can pseudo-inverse the model, and so to retrieve the result.
Okay.
Well, the result is tomography.
Okay.
Okay? And it works like that works.
Yeah.
Measurements, model, results. Not artificial intelligence.
Did the data just come from one satellite or from multiple satellites?
Multiple satellites.
For the Khafre?
Absolutely, yeah.
And they both...
4 satellites. ISI, Capella Space, Umbra Space, Cosmos, Skynet, 4 satellites.
All 4?
Yes.
Wow. And all 4 gave you the same raw tomography data?
I've got the results there, yes.
That's amazing. That's really amazing.
It is the basic. The basic things. We cannot announce anything without these basics methods that are scientific methods.
And you've done 4 or so instances of validation in other cases to show that structures that you are measuring actually look like what you think they do.
Yes, I don't know. We have measured also the Osiris shaft, which is well known as the structure. The structure is well known.
And the readings that you got in the synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography matched
100%.
Wow. Okay. So that's pretty good.
We don't have a double blind because I don't know what's the double blind.
How deep down does that go?
37 meters, the last one, but the Osiris shaft goes down.
Yeah.
It goes down for
a while.
I don't remember.
Okay, it's okay.
Maybe I don't remember. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. So that's fascinating. I mean, that gives me a lot of confidence that there's something there. So Filippo, what are the next steps of the Khafre project?
The next steps. We are moving to completing all the scanning. We are completing. We are nearly finished. We have nearly finished all the scannings. And now we are working on dealing with Egyptian authorities in order to request some authorization to go in situ and do some measurements.
Do you think that you'll get permission from the Egyptian authorities?
Okay. In Italy, we have this kind of saying like that is mixed with Latin. Chiedere humanum est, ottenere autem diabolicum. If I ask you something, if something is human, I can ask you something. But to obtain what I have asked you is another kettle of fish. Okay? So we are working on compiling a project proposal. Maybe the Khafre Research Project can be at the center, so me, Armando, and Corrado, and we can work together with a university. Let's say University of Ferrara, no? And maybe other companies that physically can work on Giza.
So you want to get funding and work with an academic institution,
Yes.
and then be able to and do you think, because historically, and you saw it with Zahi Hawass going on Joe Rogan,
Yeah.
very recently.
I discovered now.
You just have these people in charge who are closed-minded, they're corrupt, their incentives are to basically force fit any new finding into the country's own history. And if something involves any civilization predating that country, they're going to have an allergic reaction to it. So how do you get around that? I'm dealing with that a little bit because I've done some stories in Peru, and they have their own Ministry of Culture, and they have gatekeepers as well, and it's extremely frustrating. And our mutual friend Jay has experienced that as well. So I guess, how do you get around that? How do you get around the politics?
Good question. I went 2 weeks ago, as I told you before, I went in Egypt. I found a nice country, very nice people. I don't know if all of them are open-minded, but maybe yes. I found that they are very friendly, and they love the pyramids. In my personal opinion, we are not against them, but we are together. We are all together.
It would be the best thing in the world for Egypt, for tourism, for national pride, if they found out that the pyramids had some elaborate substructure and some exotic functionality that we don't know of today. I mean,
Today we don't know, but maybe in a couple of years, yes.
It would be a groundbreaking discovery, a revelation, and it would be the best possible thing for Egyptian GDP in the world. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a better scenario for them.
And I tell you, maybe these times we are ready to do it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
We are ready.
I like
We can
that
be ready to
attitude.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the water thing is so interesting. What do you think, as far as you say water has information, and what is that? I mean, obviously there's a water table below the Khafre Pyramid, but why is that significant otherwise as far as the pyramid structure itself?
Yes, thank you for this question. It's important. Water table. While if the Egyptian authority will give us the authorization to go there in situ and make measurements, maybe make some cleanings on the existing facilities, we are not asking to go inside the pyramid. And I tell you, maybe we are asking to go on the Giza plateau. Because on the Giza plateau there are, I don't know, you remember when you went there, some existing shafts that are located between the Khafre Pyramid and the Sphinx. There are some shafts that are that has the entrance on the surface of the plateau. Okay, but when you go there, you can see that they are blocked by debris, so there is soil inside. And according to our scouts, we are confident, very confident, that those shafts are connected to the underground facilities that are located below Giza. So it is not necessary to go inside the pyramids, because the pyramids are something a bit more complicated. It's something more complicated to have authorization. Maybe can be simpler, can be better to have authorization staying on the plateau, not going inside the pyramids. And there we can do a lot of things. The first thing that we can do is to perform in situ measurements, so in situ measurements campaign using seismic reflectivity methods. Okay? Not Doppler tomography, other methods. So maybe to see if they match with my methods. And in that context, we will be able to map very precisely the water level under the plateau. That's the first thing that, in my personal opinion, we can do. Then we can measure perfect and so match the in situ measurements with my measurements and see how the depth of the existing shafts that are located on the Giza plateau. The third step can be to clean those shafts. We can clean them because now they are blocked by debris. There are also other things like rubbish inside those shafts, so they has to be cleaned. And while we are cleaning the shafts, we can go down and down, and see what there is at the end of them. In our personal opinion, that's a service entrance, a secondary entrance that connects that facility to the main facility that is located.
Do you think we can turn the power grid back on?
But we do like that.
A beam shoots out of the top of the pyramid or something. That's so interesting. And I mean, how does Dunn think that this is like a fusion generator? Does he think that we could produce over unity energy from it?
Chris has very clear idea, and I agree with him that the Giza plateau is related to electricity or something that is very near to electricity. Such kind of electron generator energy, electrons. And maybe it can be hypothesized that this, as I told you, water is very important. Maybe the water goes through these spirals, and the spirals are made by piezoelectric material, and while the water is flowing through the spirals, are exciting this piezoelectric material that generates electricity. Something like that, maybe. But it's only an hypothesis. We have to go there and check.
Interesting. And is he interested in Pons-Fleischmann and
We didn't talk about Pons-Fleischmann.
Okay.
About fusion reactors, about that kind of stuff. But maybe the next time I will see him, I will ask him about this.
Do these two Italian scientists you mentioned who were kind of adherents to Pons and Fleischmann, do you think, do they hypothesize that the pyramids themselves have anything to do with nuclear fusion? Or?
Unfortunately, I don't know.
Okay.
Because now they disappeared, so...
They disappeared?
Yes.
What happened to them?
No, they they are not with us anymore.
Oh, they died.
Yeah.
Okay, but you said disappear. I mean, not in a mysterious way.
No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
No.
Okay.
No, Emilio del Giudice, I think in 2014, 2015. Giuliano Preparata earlier.
Okay.
In the beginning of the 2000, I think,
Okay.
something like that. But they were very clever. Yes.
Armando Mai, who you have worked with and we just discussed for a little bit,
Yes.
he has very like esoteric ideas, it seems. Like he talks about the number 237 and he talks about
137, no?
Oh, what was it? 137, sorry.
What profound mystery lies hidden behind this number? For what reason did Richard Feynman, the great quantum physicist of the last century, so stubbornly insist on suggesting to his fellow physicists that they should affix a small plaque bearing this number upon the walls of their laboratories and then meditate upon it every single day of their lives? Why did Leon Lederman, the 1988 Nobel laureate in physics, make a point of telling people he had lived in a house numbered 137? 137 in quantum physics is the ratio between the speed of light and that of the electron orbiting the nucleus of the hydrogen atom. You surely haven't failed to notice the correspondence with the number found in the proportions of the second pyramid of Giza. Is it a coincidence?
What do you make of his ideas? And maybe for the audience, can you summarize them?
Yes, Armando is a very nice person and scientist also. He's convinced that the number 137 is related to, especially to Khafre Pyramid, on the Khafre Pyramid. Exactly, I don't know exactly his theories, and I have his books, I have to read it. And I have to study his books. But I think that I encourage him to go with his ideas because they are very interesting. Armando is a nice guy and he will do a lot of things with us.
What do you think of, Ben Van Kerkwyk? He just went on Joe Rogan's show and he talked about this large labyrinth underneath
the huge labyrinth,
like Hawara region, and he talks about Herodotus and Pliny the Elder and like past historical accounts of this large chamber.
The stories of this Hall of Records and these rooms beneath the Sphinx go back thousands of years. Like, I mean, just not just the Arabs, but also Herodotus and these other guys also talked about that whole area, the Sphinx and everything else being vastly more ancient even than the pyramids.
Do you think there's anything interesting there?
In some portion of the Giza Plateau, we found a mess in terms of tomographic reflections. So there are really something like a network of underground tunnels. That because when you watch the tomography, you see everything projected on a plane. So it is hard to have the third dimension inside the depth. And yes, there are a lot of connections. The shafts that goes down are all interconnected. And it's difficult for us to make a precise reconstruction of what there is, what is connecting the main shafts that are very visible one to each other.
Because he's claiming, I think the labyrinth is like a half a kilometer or maybe more, maybe a kilometer, like it's extremely big or something.
What there is underneath there is very huge. In fact, in this context, it was, I think, Armando that me and Armando, for Armando, I think, said for the first time, that's the tip of the iceberg. The pyramids are the tip of the iceberg. It's just a hat to complete something that is located underneath.
It's like a little cherry on top of
Yes.
The substance is below.
In my personal view, the measurements are showing that.
So interesting. What else so you mentioned finding these networks, of tunnels.
Yes.
And then obviously you have the coils under Khafre. Are there any other findings?
In this case, I'm sorry, I have to quote, cite also Trevor Grassi.
Okay.
Trevor. Because Trevor gave me for the first time the indication on the shafts. Of the shaft. Filippo, he told me, because he's expert, me not, Filippo, please explore the depth of the existing shafts that I told you, the shafts located between Khafre and the Sphinx, because from there you can find the entrance to the underground under Khafre. Yes, because he is also making independent research a bit far away, but 100 meters far away from these shafts, and he found a so-called corridor of rooms that from the surface goes underneath, and then it connects the top to the bottom, and the bottom is constituted by a network of tunnels that are located underneath.
Wow.
Also, he is studying this, and he is 100% convinced because he wants to go inside personally in the underground, intercepting this network of tunnels.
It's amazing. And is there anything that you've found besides the network of tunnels? Like anything else you have this sort of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I told these things on the conference in Spoleto also, and also in Malta. We had a conference there. The structures that are that we found in Khafre, we found the same thing also in Menkaure and also under the Sphinx.
Whoa.
Yes, absolutely.
You
yes.
found the same thing.
The same, not 4+4, but in Menkaure 2+2, a smaller version of these things, and in under the Sphinx only one cube going down. So they are all connected. So the Giza plateau is not constituted by the pyramids. That's Menkaure, that's Khafre, then that's Cheops. No, it is something that has to be considered entirely.
Yeah, it's a system, it's a network or something. Yeah. So fascinating. What do you, like, how has academia received, you know, these findings?
I have to be
diplomatic.
to give an answer to this. Giving an answer to this, academia is wonderful. Academia is very interesting because there are a lot of things that I learned thanks to academia. It has to be something, we have to be very diplomatic with academia. Because academia works, you have an hypothesis, you make the measurements, and you explain why you had these measurements, and then you do comparison with the reality. And you explain the errors. So this is a scientific paper, no? You start from an issue, you perform the measurements, reality, and the errors. Reality, it means state of the art. You have an innovation, the state of the art, and the errors. This is academia. So, that I agree, because I am 100% thankful of academia, because it is an institution and it is necessary to study through the academia, because academia gives us a lot of tools, mathematical tools, the scientific tools, and the physics that are behind things that we do. Also, my techniques comes from academia, because I studied the synthetic aperture radar from academia, and that's very important. When there is something new, we have to be careful to announce things. So it is new, and has to pass time to how you say, to to realize that the things that we are claiming can be valid or not by the academia, which I agree. So, in this moment, we are working on a scientific paper. The scientific paper is, let's say, under review.
Mm-hmm. Is it peer review?
Peer review, yes, only peer review. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have a timeline on when it might get accepted? Or?
I don't want to say something because it is a bit, it is under review.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
That's exciting.
Let's see what happens.
Well, I hope it gets peer review. I mean, that would be very exciting.
I don't know what happens. Maybe we'll be rejected. I don't know. But if we'll be rejected, we have to know why.
Yeah.
If we'll be accepted, or 100% will be some revision to do.
I don't. If you're just saying these are the findings, I don't know how it can be rejected. If you're saying we use Doppler tomography in all these other cases that involve life or death or normal commercial business cases, so it's useful in the free market context where people have skin in the game on it being useful. And then you're saying we've done cases of validating that it works by going inside of a few things that we've measured. And then you're saying 4 different synthetic aperture radar companies measured this thing, and you got this raw data, and then you have software that you use in other contexts to create images that invert the raw data into an image. Why would that get rejected? That seems super to me. I'm not a genius, but that seems very simple and basic and obvious.
I agree with you, but academia is very orthodox, so they have.
I think they're orthodox because of what everyone's saying about the implications of it. Because it's circulating the internet is everybody saying it's an energy grid and it's it's fun to speculate about, and it could be true. But just the findings themselves are the findings. So it's like, I don't see how you can reject that.
We are proposing measurements. Let's see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah. I just interviewed this Swedish astronomer named Beatrice Villarreal. She's amazing. And she is similar because she's traditionally credentialed like yourself. You know, she's well respected. She's at Stockholm University, and she's a physicist and an astrophysicist. And she went to the Palomar Observatory, which is basically the most prominent observatory in use in San Diego in California, from 1949 to 1957. So pre-Sputnik, pre-satellites being in space, she found all these transients that look like these like mirrors or like light reflecting objects. They're not stars, they're not sun streaks, they're nothing else, and they're pre-satellites. And she found
where are they located?
These transients came from solar reflections at 42,164 kilometers from the Earth, or somewhere there around.
Very interesting.
Yeah, no, it is.
Pre-Sputnik.
Pre-Sputnik. Yeah. And so she's trying to find another observatory to see if she can line it up, because people said that the spots she found are plate defects. But then she basically like did a study of these transients, these light reflecting objects, and she looked in the Earth's shadow. So the Earth's shadow, you know, you have the sun pointing at the Earth, and she wanted to see if there was a drop off in the Earth's shadow, and there was a drop off showing that they do reflect light. So they're probably physical objects.
Yes,
because they reflect light.
I would like to read about.
I will send it to you.
Yes,
but it's another example of. And this was just accepted by peer review. And I think, you know, my sense is that the people around her did everything they could to poke holes in it. Everything. And it's weird. There's no one left poking holes. Sabina Hassenfelder did a video and she's like, I don't know what to say. This is interesting. Brian Keating, who's, you know, a very, you know, well-established physicist who normally plays the skeptical side, to be honest. He came out and he was like, I find this very interesting. Maybe we should look for corroboration. So it's an amazing time where people like Beatrice and yourself can find these you know, bold, amazing things and actually try to get peer review. And I really hope you do get peer review. To me, again, I'm, you know, just thinking about it simply, but it makes a lot of sense to me. I don't understand why it would get rejected.
In my personal opinion, we will need a lot of time for review because I tell you, in 2022, I don't remember, 21, 22, we initially published a work, peer review, that is online now, but the initial work that we made on the Cheops Pyramid didn't have this such of media explosion on all the world. Now, with the second paper, I know that the editor of the journal where we submitted the article will be very, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm excited. And I think if I were you, I would try to keep the claims as humble as possible.
Yes.
And just give an honest readout of what you measured.
Yes.
Because I think it's hard to reject if you do that. I think if you insert some of the stuff, we're having fun speculating, but don't insert any of that stuff in the peer review.
Only measurement,
yes.
The result.
Because
model and result.
In my opinion, academia is myopic and narrow and not very bold. And so if you do that, then they'll reject it. But just keep it super narrow. That's your way. That's the way in. Well, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. Do you think that we'll be able to make progress in our lifetime on really understanding what the pyramids are for? Do you think that what we discover through your work and maybe the follow-up work in the Khafre project will wholesale overturn our understanding of the pyramids and maybe reality itself?
Maybe yes. We need time for continuing the studies. That's important to say. Time is important to stand the ideas that we have, to consolidate ideas that we have. I tell you that the technique that we are using now is every day improving in terms also in terms of
precision
and the performance. So the answer is yes. In my personal opinion, yes. We can the final proof is to go there and watch and see what there is. We have to go inside.
Well, I hope you're given access to do that, because I think it's really important for the world to just understand both our past from placing humanity in a specific context, but also technologically, who knows what it could unlock?
Who knows?
You know?
Maybe 2026 will be a year where if we begin to perform in situ exploration, we will know really more in terms of information about the pyramids with respect to now. If we will be able until the end of this year to submit to the Egyptian authorities a project proposal having a very focused ideas on it, so without going around, so focused on specific topics. In my personal opinion, we will have an authorization. Why not? Why not?
Why not? Well, that's exciting.
If we have an authorization, if we will have an authorization, maybe we can find exciting things. Who knows?
My prediction is you will find exciting things if you're given authorization.
I agree with you.
So I think, it's, to me, the bigger question is, will you be given authorization? I think if you get authorization, I think you're going to find something very interesting underneath there. Because if you can't explain the way you described it, just the hat or the little, the tip of the spear, the tip of the iceberg.
The tip of the iceberg.
And that is literally a world wonder. Like, we don't understand it at all. We don't understand how it's built. There are debates about how it's built.
Yeah.
If we don't understand that, then, and you're telling me that that's the tip of the iceberg and that there's this whole network underneath it, oh my God. I mean, the contribution to humanity, and I hope Egypt is able to see just how special that is. Well, you have to promise to let me and Jay come and film it.
You and Jay will be the first to film.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. Maybe we can get Joe Rogan out too.
Yes.
Well, it's an honor and to speak with you.
Say hello also to Jay.
Yeah, what's up, Jay? Project Unity. Go check that out. Subscribe. Yeah, no, I'm just so excited, and it does feel like these sort of discoveries are speeding up. I don't know why. I think people are kind of waking up, collectively to some of these ideas, becoming more open-minded, and yeah, thank you for being bold, because I know you come from more of a traditional engineering background.
Yes.
And to be able to speculate about these things isn't so easy. Actually, before we were rolling.
Yes, and I have to tell you also.
Yeah, tell me, yeah.
What we did.
Yeah.
It is absolutely inside the scientific compounds, because we did measurements.
Yes.
That are scientifically approved. So we didn't do nothing exotic.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to do a double-blind check. Has to pass time.
No, but to me, it's like using an electron microscope or mass spectrometry or something, and just saying, we found these isotope ratios, and then people are like, well, what do you mean you found those isotope ratios? Well, it's like, we use this machine in a million other contexts. They work, and then here it works, and we found the thing. Yeah. You're telling me that Doppler tomography is used in all these other contexts effectively for commercial, and I'm sure it's used for defense. That's me speculating. So it's like, if that's the case, why not? Yeah. Why would this be any different? Like, it's just an instrument that we know works in all these other cases. So it's miraculous. One other thing is, before we were rolling, we talked a little bit about this idea of extended electrodynamics and scalar physics. And some people have hypothesized that some of these ancient structures involved kind of acoustic resonance, but also maybe tap into a more exotic kind of version of electromagnetism than the typical transverse Hertzian wave. Do you think that's possible? Have you explored that at all? Or?
I never explored this, but it doesn't mean that I will never do it. If you ask me what is a scalar wave, I don't know. I don't know. I can't give you an answer because I never studied this kind of topic. But I am not saying that it does not exist.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, all people, academic, not academics, everyone, we have to be open-minded. I tell you this. We go in the past, in the 15s, 1915 maybe, 1910, when an Italian scientist called Guglielmo Marconi, who invented the radio. We are now today with these nice things on the internet, thanks to Guglielmo Marconi. And this is what I'm saying. It is exactly the example that we are living today. But we are saying this. Guglielmo Marconi wanted to perform a huge experiment. So, can I connect the Terranova Island with Cornovaglia? So a huge distance.
Across the Atlantic.
Yes, across the Atlantic, no? And can I transmit some information from one part to the other one without cables, only using electromagnetic waves? He was sure about this, the success, that he will succeed this experiment, because he felt it inside the heart. All the academia, I am saying nothing about the academia, is not something against the academia, no. Only to explain you the fact that is now history. All the academia was saying, no, Marconi is doing something wrong because it will never go. It will never be okay. This experiment will never work. Why? Because the transmitting antenna and the receiving antenna were not in line of sight. And so Maxwell said that the electromagnetic waves are only transmitting in line of sight. It means that I have to watch physically the transmitting and the receiving. And so, why he is doing that? Because he wants to waste money. Because it will never work. I can tell you that who was saying this, because it's history. It was maybe Poincaré, Professor Righi, academia. And so the journalist from the academia used to go to Marconi and ask Marconi, but the academia said that your experiment will never work. Don't worry, follow me, don't worry. Vabbè, when the day arrived for doing the experiment, they used to have the Morse signal. The Morse signal from the transmitting source was transferred immediately to the receiving source. It worked. Why? Because there was the so-called third via, the third solution. So, from one side, the theory of Maxwell said that this experiment couldn't work because the Earth is a sphere, no? And so,
yeah, it's like a laser pointer. It would be off
it's a pointer.
Yeah.
On the other side, Marconi, that he didn't study. He didn't study. He wasn't a scientist. Nothing. He thought, in his mind, wrongly, that electromagnetic waves followed a curved path.
Right.
That's not possible.
Wrong.
Because it's wrong. So, the academia that studied was saying that the experiment will never succeed, and they were, because they studied.
Yeah.
And it was a mess, a scientific mess.
Yeah.
Because nobody, or the academia, and Marconi knew about the third via.
Yeah.
And what was the third via? The presence of the ionosphere. The ionosphere.
Conductive ionosphere.
So, the wavelength that was transmitting Marconi casually, it was interacting with the ionosphere, and so the electromagnetic wave, according to the Maxwell theory, made like that and like that, directly to the receiving. And so it worked.
It's amazing.
And this gave the Nobel Prize to Guglielmo Marconi.
That's an incredible story because he was right, but he didn't even know why he was right until after he figured it out. It's amazing. And Marconi flunked out of school. And none of his professors took him seriously. And even
the word. So everyone has to be open-minded.
Of course. Well, electromagnetism in general Michael Faraday was the early 19th century. He was a poor bookbinder in South London who knew nothing. And he just kind of like had revelations about some of this
because
stuff.
of his heart inside.
Absolutely.
He was feeling that.
It was a part of him, clearly. And Tesla had all of these, speaking of scalar physics, he had all these ideas of where electromagnetism in its current form, even with his update of alternating current over direct current vis-a-vis Edison, even beyond that, he was talking about wireless instantaneous transmission and his experiments at Wardenclyffe that were sponsored by JP Morgan. I think if you were to if he were alive today, he would say, you know, his experiments barely scratched the surface of what he thought the potential for electromagnetism actually was. So the point is, just like Einstein is housed within, you can find Newton with
also Einstein.
Yeah.
At the time when he developed the special relativity, he was saying that time is relative, time is changing. No, it is, and it was an heretic thinking.
Yes.
But he was successful. So, in this context, everyone of us has to think heretically.
Absolutely.
Heretic, it means heresia, it means in Italian, in Latin, it means to be free. Free of mind, okay?
Absolutely. Because
libero come l'aria, the air, heretic, the air, it's free.
Well, the whole history of science is the history of heretical thinking, moving science forward.
Yes.
And scientific paradigm shifts occur when there's a buildup of anomalies and then the kind of dam breaks. So, and each theory, let's say, I love the Marconi example because Newton was right, but he didn't know why he was right. Einstein was more right than Newton in his theory. There's gonna be somebody who's more right than Einstein about his theories. And the idea that this is the end of history and the end of physics is the biggest fallacy of, like, you know, that we know everything. And it occurs at every generation. Every generation we say we know everything, and then somebody figures something out, and they're always the heretic.
We know anything.
That's right.
Not everything.
And if you can't find somebody who is not part of the conventional body of knowledge who you agree with, you're almost guaranteed to be on the wrong side of history, because that's the person who's going to bring forward. The trick is finding the right person who's, you know, and that's hard. But, you know, I couldn't agree with you more.
Very amazing.
It's funny, you know, 2 days ago I interviewed Marconi's grandson.
Ah, very nice.
And it's just really trippy, but he said that his grandfather was part of a secret cabinet from Mussolini to study extraterrestrials, and it was called RS-33.
In 1933, the Italian government set up this group, a secret research 33 cabinet, where Marconi was the chair, was the president, and Enrico Fermi was the vice president, and they made some searches and studies on this phenomenon. Because 1933, they say that in Varese, north of Italy, there were some apparitions of so-called UFOs.
So in Magenta, Italy, or do you know where specifically?
Yes, Varese, it's north east Italy. Northeast, yes. Varese, it's north of Milan, in Lombardy, and between Lombardy and Venetian land.
And it was fascinating.
Very interesting.
He told me that personally, like, and he's a prince. I was like, this is amazing. So it's funny you brought him up, but yeah, it's so
I will see that interview.
Yeah, you'll see it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm just you know, amazed by it. But yeah, I agree. I think go for it.
I'm not saying that these experiments that we did on Giza are esoteric experiments, heretic. No, they are orthodox.
Yeah.
But it is a different way to watch electromagnetics. Why not? So it is inside the academic compound.
Well,
100%.
The point I think you're making is, like, when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And when you're an archaeologist and you see a structure, you just say, oh, it's a pyramid. There are pyramids in other parts of the world. That's just this structure. And then you come up with some lame, you know, a justification for why it was built. You come up with some reasons that are kind of inadequate as to how they were built. But you're force-fitting your own priors onto the observation. And you have people like Christopher Dunn, who's done all this work on just engineering anomalies with the thing itself. And then you're contributing with this, you know, very clear scan of what's underneath the pyramid. And all of these things don't look like normal modern architecture. So the idea that it's just some ancient, you know, tomb is so obviously coming from our own false preconceptions based on modernity. It's not based on a, you know, unbiased reading of what's happening.
Yes. I agree with you.
So I would bet on, I hope your team really figures this out, and it's exciting. It's a really exciting time in history.
I think that 2026 we have to do something.
Yeah.
Maybe, in my personal opinion, humanity is ready to go there and to go and see what there is down there, because there is something.
Yeah. Well, Luis Walter Alvarez, who was really important for the American atomic program. He's depicted in the movie Oppenheimer, and he was very high up in the Manhattan Project. He X-rayed the pyramids in the 50s.
X-rayed.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
So it's been a subject of long-standing interest, like even from like an official American government perspective for a long time. And
how he X-rayed it?
I don't know exactly. Yeah, but it's online. You can look at
okay.
Yeah.
It had to use a huge amount of energy in order to penetrate all the mass of the pyramid.
Yeah, I guess so. And I think
don't know.
There was maybe a muon detector?
Yes. In fact, we have to speak also about the Scam Pyramid project, because there is not only the Khafre project, but there is also, for much more time with respect to us, the Scam Pyramid project. The Scam Pyramid project is using muons, which are subparticles that are emitted from the universe. They go to the pyramid and they intercept some detectors. So the muons impress the detectors and they carry the information about the voids existing between the top of the pyramids while they go through the pyramids, like that. Yes, the Scam Pyramid project is a well-known research group. They're using another physics. We are using acoustics. They are using subparticles, and maybe let's see if we can reach them. So be in contact with them. Maybe we can or work together or share our results. No, because now we are in competition. But if we are in competition, we have to work together, not in competition.
The way you have to think about it is it's you guys against the world. It's not you against, it's like, it's amazing for everybody if we can figure out anything here. So, and we're up against kind of establishment forces. So, the muon detectors, that's specifically for mapping the chambers inside of the pyramid. Is that right?
Yes, I tell you, yes. And I tell you why we should collaborate together. There is a difference between the methods that we use and they use. Because we scan from the space, from the space we can scan underneath. They use the space particle to scan what there is between the pyramid and where they locate physically the detectors. It means that for us is not a request to go physically to locate the detectors. Our detector is the surface of the Earth. In my personal opinion, we work better with respect to them because we can detect things where never a human went underneath. Their technique is different because they have to go physically somewhere, and so they will retrieve a tomography between the surface and where they locate the detectors. Okay? I am hypothesizing this, and I will share this information here. If we perform a joint project, so a project together, maybe, and if we will be able one day to go inside the shaft and maybe intercepting an horizontal tunnel, constituting the network of tunnels there is underneath, the Scam Pyramid project can locate their detectors inside the tunnel in order to retrieve what there is up to there. I don't know if I am explaining better.
Yeah, you'll use them in conjunction. You'll put the muon detector there.
There, and so they can scan.
It
I
makes
don't know.
sense. Yeah. Interesting.
So we have to work together.
Yeah.
We don't have to be separated, but work together.
Yeah, very cool. I love that idea. Well, on that note, Filippo Biondi, this is an absolute honor and a pleasure, and I really wish you good luck, because I think what you're doing is very important. And honestly, I was very compelled by what was circulating online, but there are a couple of things that even I didn't know or was holding out judgment on, and after this interview, you kind of convinced me on a lot of it. So I'm very, very excited, and thank you for doing this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Over the last couple of months, we've been designing the new American Alchemy merch drop, and I'm excited to say that the 2025 winter drop is finally ready. We now have 30 uniquely designed pieces that really reflect what American Alchemy is all about. This drop includes epic t-shirts, long sleeves, crew necks, hoodies, tapered sweatpants, hats, totes, mugs, and tumblers. The Fukushima Japan pieces, for example, have detailed left chest embroidery. The Morning of Earth designs went through multiple revisions to get the fit exactly right. And the Iron Horse tee is something I think will be a hit for anyone who loved the UFO Cowboy or our Atomic Age shirts from our last drop. We cut a lot of things that didn't meet our standards, and we're really proud of each of these items. Everything is pretty limited, so there's no endless restocks. Once it's gone, it's entirely gone. If you missed anything from our original drops and you want to go out and represent, now's the time to go grab something. So go to AmericanAlchemyMerch.com to check it all out.